This is David with the Paranormal Sessions podcast. I thought this is a good time to give you an update about the children. And for people that are new or it's been some time, what did happen is I'd gone to the Hotel Vendome in Prescott, Arizona, and I'd always heard it was haunted, and it definitely is. So to kind of make a long story short, when I was in that room with a friend of mine, I had one vision of a man, and he was talking really fast, and he had bug eyes, and he had a suit from probably the 1800s, and that was about it for the vision. Well, then the second vision was the one that was really disturbing. I'm showing two children. It was a boy and a girl, and they're playing like on the side of a mountain or a large hill. And I see them playing for about maybe 6-7 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, and then it cuts to a man, and he's got old dirty jeans, old shoes. He's got a wrinkled shirt that looked like it had been cleaned in 6 months, and he's got a cloth bag over his head, and he's slowly rotating, and that lasted maybe 10-15 seconds, and then it stopped. Well, of course, I was a little confused about the sack on the man's head, or cloth sack, and I did some research later when I came back, and come to find out that at the courthouse, back in those days, when they would hang people, they'd have a cloth sack over their head. So then I knew that man had killed those two children. So that was unsettling. So I come back, and to my house, and it kind of bothered me seeing that. But like I've said many times, this is part of the deal being a psychic medium. So months go by. So I had set up 2 small aquariums, which of course I still have now, but different ones. And so I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, just making sure everything's fine. None of the fish are sick or anything. So as soon as I sit on the bed, and this is after several months, I feel something sit next to me, excuse me, on my right, and then another one on my left. And I realized after a period of time, because every time I sat down on the bed, it'd be to the right and to the left, that it was the 2 children. So when they saw me, I assume they, I don't know if they actually attached to me, but they followed me back to my bedroom. And so periodically I would sit on the edge of the bed, and they feel the right and the left. So that was the same like this for years. So about, I think it was last summer, if I remember correctly, I sit on the bed, and there's the right and the left, and then another right, and then another left. And I'm thinking, maybe there's more children who saw these that know, that they're safe with me, so to speak. And that's the only thing that would make sense. Now, I've tried filming them and taking pictures, but then I realized that since they're children, and the one that I saw, the 2 children, they had to be maybe 5 or 6 years old at the most. Well, at that age, they don't even know that they're deceased. Other than, when they see evil in the room, they hide somewhere, because I've never able to take a picture of them, never been able to see them, not even a glimpse. And I think it's because they have no power, because they're children. They don't understand that, with more power, you can, it's easier to be seen, things in that nature. So now there's 4 children, which, I'm proud I'm able to help them, but I really didn't do anything because I didn't know those other 2 would follow me back. But there are now 4 children, so I don't know if it's, 2 more girls, 2 more boys, or 1 of each. But now every time I sit on the edge of the bed, now there's 4 of them. And, I feel good about that, at least that they know that they're safe to a point. But then when there's evil activity in the room, I'm sure they go and hide, and wherever they hide, it must be safe. because they're still around and things of that nature. But I just thought I'd give a quick update, because instead of 2 children, now there's 4. And one time I thought there was maybe 5, but I don't know if I just maybe one of them was just moving and it seemed like it was a 5th child, but I know there's at least 4 now, because now when I do periodically check, there are 4 children, which I'm happy about that. At least they know that I can provide some type of protection. But over that time, I tried all these different ways to film something, but since they're children, and first of all, they don't know they're deceased, they have no power, so there's not really anything to photograph, because that's what everything is based off energy. And since they have very little, I don't think they're ever going to be able to be filmed. Not that I want to go ahead and just post a picture or anything, because I think that would be kind of tasteless, but I just wanted to see who's there. But it just doesn't work for whatever reason, and I think it has to do with that. They just have no energy. They're just existing because they don't know that they're deceased. So I just thought it'd be kind of appropriate that I give everyone an update on the children, because I didn't even know those other first 2 children had come back with me. So I'm glad that the other children, I somehow communicated to them that this is where they stay, and maybe over time more children will come to be around me because they feel safe. And I'm sure they know when there's something evil, they all go wherever. I don't know where that is, because I don't think they've crossed over, because they wouldn't cross over because they don't even know they're deceased. So, but I just wanted to give an update. I thought about this several times over the last month or 2, but I kept forgetting. But I thought I should at least give everyone an update that now there's 4 children that are in the room. But the only time I ever know they're there is when I sit on the bed and they sit all right behind me. So I appreciate everyone watching. Thanks.